Hello everyone, Ronnie here, talking about the raw vegan diet and lifestyle and talking about health and getting your health back if that's what you're looking to do, or taking it to another level and all that stuff. A lot of you have asked about me doing a what I eat in a day video, so I'll try and do that. Maybe I'll try and do that today. I've not eaten anything yet, I don't think, so I guess I could do that. So, I wanted to talk about something controversial a little bit, I guess, but there's a lot of people I know who are real big fans of Robert Morse, and I was kind of thinking like, I've not really went down a journey of like learning so much about what he's doing or learning from him, but I know a lot of people that have done his course. My girlfriend is a big fan of his. I've watched a lot of his stuff and quite liked it. I've met him, but I'm not sure if it's his responsibility or other people's, but people that have come from him and his style of thing, there's basic information lacking in their understanding of nutrition, the body, health, and all this stuff. And it concerns me a little bit if someone get in touch with me and they say, oh, I've been following the Robert Morse protocol, whatever that means. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of know how that goes, how that conversation goes, because they often say, but yeah, I got really underweight and I just couldn't function or do anything and I just didn't feel good. And I'm like, yeah. Like when you follow advice from someone that doesn't follow the lifestyle long term, that is giving you short term advice for people to do for a short period of time, then that's the kind of thing that happens. And so all these people have got into this, they want to believe certain things, and so there's someone out there that'll tell you those things, and it's kind of how things work. But there's a lot of information lacking there. Now the other thing is when people go through his courses, like to help people, and they want to talk about detoxing, and you know, they want to help people detox and cleanse and all that, there's just some mistakes as well, like some major mistakes. Like it's much simpler than what he kind of makes out. For example, as far as I'm aware, diabetes, say type 2 diabetes, I get the feeling that Morse talks about a lot of these things, not just diabetes, heart disease, a whole bunch of things, that it's to do with the lymphatic system, that it's the adrenal glands, that it's the kidneys, and that there's all that stuff. And, you know, all these things are interrelated, but it's not really to do with the kidneys. It's not really to do with the adrenal glands. It's not really to do with the lymphatic system. It's to do with the diet. It's the poor diet that people eat that specifically causes diabetes. And it's much simpler than having to explain the kidneys or whatever else. Heart disease, much simpler. And the vast majority of people that are sick out there is high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, pulmonary issues like breathing issues, and you know, there's kidney disease, arthritis, autoimmune conditions. These are all just diet related conditions, really. And what's happening is over time the body's suffering as a result of these things. So you get rid of that diet, you go towards a better diet, and your body can heal and recover. Whether, if you want to call that detox or cleansing, fair enough, but the mistake is to think that the food is cleansing you or pulling things out of you or detoxing you, and it ain't. It's not doing anything. The food is not going in and actively doing anything to you. And it can't, you know, it's not okay, it's living food, but it's not like, it's not got cognition. It can't think and come into your body and start cleaning things. Like, that's not what it's doing. So these are basic bits of misinformation that are gonna, and the truth is as well, like, there's plenty of things where you don't need to go on a fruit diet, you know. So heart disease can be cleared without a fruit diet, and diabetes type 2 can be cleared without a fruit diet. So the fruit diet and the raw vegan diet is like, to me, it's like the best diet and maybe the quickest, maybe the best way of healing and all that. But if you don't fundamentally understand why people are getting sick, if you think it's all to do with the lymphatic system being backed up with cooked food, and it's not really that, then that's a problem. If you think it's all about acidifying foods and acids and alkali balance and all that, you know, it's kind of in a sense, but not really. Like, not from what we actually know about how the body works and how food works and all that. So it's almost like I'm like, do I need to do like the course for Robert Morris graduates, like, to actually get them to understand this stuff, like, on a real level, or like really understand it? But it's kind of what people want to hear, right? And it's boring when you find out how simple the diet is, how the magic is really in the body, and when we get rid of the foods that are causing disease, that the body can do incredible healing. And it just so happens that we're doing that on fruit, because it's the best food for us to eat. So I guess I wanted to put that message out there. I think some of his information might be a bit confusing. If it's all about, you know, the kidneys are causing this and the thing. And you go further back in natural hygiene, and you've got Arnold Ehret talking about his mucusless diet, and the problem is mucus. And the problem ain't mucus. You know, mucus is totally natural part of all over your body, like the insides of your body. It's a protective fluid, as far as I'm aware, protects your stomach lining from the acid and so on and so forth. That's what mucus does. And the idea that mucus is getting clogged up and all that, that's not really... Mucus might be a symptom of disease or illness. You know, you get sick and mucus comes out your nose or whatever, but it's not the cause. But he might have been confusing that with, for example, clogged arteries, clogged, like that kind of thing. That might have been what he was saying, and it wasn't till really years later that we fully understood that. So, but people were still going on about the mucus thing. So, some of the main people that have ever followed Robert Morris, like Dan the Life Regenerator, really inspiring information, inspiring stuff, doesn't really understand this though. Like, that's on a basic level, like the basic obvious stuff. Like, he doesn't really totally understand it, or he does understand it, but he wants to put it across in a more entertaining way, or a more exciting or interesting way, you know. So yeah, it's I don't really think it's to do with your lymphatic system being clogged with acids. I think it's just as simple as it's a bad diet, you know. I don't really think too much about the idea that you've got toxins in your body and you've got all these toxins, and that's probably the case. But it's not really something to think about or focus on. It's not something you can speed up. You can't speed up detoxification. You can only remove the barriers towards it, but you can't force it. You can't force detoxification to happen quickly. Even if you're fasting, all you're doing is you're taking away the barriers, you know, to allow it to happen at an optimal rate. But it's not going to speed up to the point that it's harming you, as some people seem to think. What I like about Robert Morris is that he really emphasizes fruit, not vegetables. And there's quite a lot of people that still emphasize vegetables, green juices, sprouts and all that stuff. Hippocrates' way of doing things, and Wigmore. That's a mistake, you know, and they've went down that path, and it's a complete mistake. It's just a strange idea, makes no sense to limit fruit or cut out fruit. They're actually harming people by cutting fruit out of their diet while they go there. People probably eating less fruit at Hippocrates than they do on their standard diet. Well, that's not helping anyone. But they claim that that's good for people who are very long far along with cancer and stuff like that, and the sugar feeds the cancer. Well, yeah, sugar feeds everything. It also fuels your immune system. So how are you gonna, you know, I don't know. So that's my feelings about all that. I don't like people going into these realms of explaining things that don't really make sense, and talking about these things that without understanding really we really have a better understanding now of how the body works. You know, we have a better understanding. We don't have to make it magical. We don't have to make it outside of people's comprehension. We don't have to make it as sexy as that, like, oh, it's all this magic energy and all that stuff. Like, we can just get back to the basics of it, and you know, that's been my journey. I think that's the journey with everyone in getting into this. Is maybe at first you're like, you know, you're wanting this magical, amazing transformation and all this stuff to happen, and I think that's what happened for me. I did feel that, I did get that, and that's still going on for me. But if you're looking for it to be, I don't know, if your expectations are too high or something, like maybe you're just going to lose interest. Like, this is a diet at the end of the day. Fruit is a type of food. It's not drugs. It's not anything like that. And you should feel eventually as well, it might take longer for some people, you should feel fantastic. As a whole lifestyle though, of fruit, of the diet, of exercise, of fresh air, of sunlight, of going towards positive relationships, positive everything. I don't know why when I started to do this diet that I had amazing experiences, felt incredible in the first week, and why some people don't. I don't know exactly why. Maybe I was in a better state of health at the time than other people when they transition. Maybe it was because I'd already given up caffeine years before. I'd already given up sugar years before. I'd given up meat years before. I'd been cutting down on all animal products for quite a while, and came towards veganism and went raw, and started eating loads of bananas and loads of fruit, and just felt amazing, and my body was changing, aches and pains disappeared, and all this stuff happened really, really quickly. I don't know why other people don't get that exact same experience. I don't know exactly, but I'm not here to try and explain this all to you in some kind of... I think that transformation is amazing. I think it's one of the most amazing things you'll ever do. But I actually want you to understand it all from a real basic, fundamental, common sense. This equals this plus this equals that, you know, like a real simple way. And when you break things down to fundamentals, it means you can start to explain and understand anything within that situation. You can make much better decisions, much better decisions. So I got a good education in this. You know, I got a good experience in education because I was around the people that it was really working for, and I listened to them, and I listened to them again and again, and I asked my questions, and I read the books, and I went to the courses and the classes again and again and again and again. And then I applied it to myself, and I continued to apply it, and I continued to learn. And I just go deep with things. You know, I don't just go on the surface area. I like to drive right down deep and really understand it. And then when you understand it, you realise it's kind of simple in some ways. So, I hope that video made some kind of sense, I don't know. But yeah, I think he's kind of... I think he misses a few things. I don't know if he intentionally leaves it out. I don't know if he doesn't understand it entirely. But I don't think he's got the full... Like, I don't think you can take someone from beginner to the end of the journey, which is that they're on the diet sustainably, that they can help other people with it, they can explain how the diet works, they can explain all these things. So that's my thoughts. You can leave your own thoughts below. Feel free to like and whatever. fruitfest.co.uk/registration if you want to learn more about this whole diet and lifestyle at the festival. We literally have about 25 spaces left in our accommodation. So if you want to get a space, please take action soon to make sure that that we can book you in. And we'll hopefully see you at the festival. If you'd like to learn more about working with me or even join my newsletter, you can go to the other link below, which is the link for my coaching services and other things like that if you're interested in that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in another video.